we could solve the case, and you could continue going on with like a copycat.
Yeah, we don't know when the
Yeah,
case is
that's
closed.
true. We don't know. We
Yeah,
know
you just
nothing.
Oh, we're
keep
live. Hi.
Oh yes,
pulling
we're
forward.
live.
I hear my voice in the background. I'm like, ah,
Hey.
Like no. Uh,
no, cut.
yes.
And of course,
Hello. Welcome
was mine.
back to my intrepid investigators, and also to you, the viewer, who arrived, who decided to come here and watch Michael wrestle his cat. Hello, monster.
He stole my
Prime
dice.
time.
He took my D percentile and ran off with it.
Look at how happy he is.
Wants more attention.
Hey, thank you so much, Colt. Actually, now I have time for this because we haven't started yet. 8 months in a row? Are you kidding me? You think you're like the first
OG.
one? Yeah, he was the OG subscriber. I think the first one. It's like he's the homie. He's another one of the homies. They're all the homies. All right. As always, before we get into it, let's do a quick little presentation. Michael,
Hi. What am I presenting? Oh fuck.
you. Who are you?
Who are
Oh,
you?
I'm-
Where
I'm
do we
Michael.
find you?
I'm the
Twitter?
Hexen King on Twitter. Let's go with that one.
Yes, I actually
Forget everything else.
made this. See,
Oh, there you go.
I wrote something nice about Michael. Not enough people do that. I have also made this for Will. Apparently, is that because it's this? Nope. Okay, Will, introduce yourself while I figure out why.
All right.
Oh, that's why.
Hey there. I'm Will. You can find me at Will Roll Player on Twitter, and I'll be playing Sergeant Logan Reno. Sans sunglasses this time because I don't feel like putting my contacts in, but maybe next time.
Yes, today Logan Reno is tired. Whew, I'm sweating already. I've opened my windows. For a moment, Will, I swear I thought you had those right by your face and they were just huge,
Yeah,
which is great.
it's like, there we go. We can
Yes,
get that
exactly.
moment where it's just like, yeah, there we
like
go.
funny cop shades. And I'm Danny or Dakotine, if you're American, for reasons unknown. I am here to try and guide these two lovely people, police officers, chaos gremlins, yes, through an investigation. A short recap. Last week, they found a dead body out near a creek. They found all the damn evidence they could out there, and they began slowly investigating and interrogating. They made sure to insult the is it a widowed
The
widowed
non-married version of a
girlfriend
widow.
of the poor victim, Terrence Hollow, excuse me. They found the car. Yes, that's correct. They found the car of the victim that had been missing. They found the victim's clothing that appeared to have been left folded, neat, and ready for them on the hood of the car. So, with that, they went home to get some sleep. Yes, content warning. Very true. Actually, I don't think there'll be a lot of violent content today. If there is, I shall try to remember
never know.
content warning. But yes, you are correct, Colt. Thank you. They went home, got some sleep. Today, as they come into work, two officers that were left there to watch over videotapes last night look up at them. Well, one looks up at them, the other is already sleeping. His head is tilted back over.
I kick his chair.
So he falls down like a.
Rise and
No,
shine.
like just to wake up.
It's like.
Yeah, not that.
Looks like you need some coffee. I hand him a styrofoam cup of just jet black coffee.
Already had like.
Oh, you apparently need some more.
I need to go home and sleep. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
And the buddy who was sitting next to him, you realize is also sleeping. His eyes are just open. He's just.
I kick another chair.
Oh, back. Oh, God. Ow. Right.
Rise and shine.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. And he kind of reaches over. You see there's a notepad. He reaches over and he just kind of hands it to you. Hands it up to
Thank you.
whoever, and you see there's like a line of timestamps on it. A short line of timestamps that says, "Oh, let me find it." They say first you have a marking of that says camera 1. It says 5:23 p.m. And then camera 2 parentheses ATM says 5:34. No. Oh yeah, it says 5:24. It would say with the ATM, and then a third one that says flower shop says 5:34. 3 minutes. And then 3 minutes later, you have another one from the flower shop says 5:37, and another one from the first camera that says 5:38. So basically, a short window of time where he was there. Also, I see this is all wrong. It should not be 30s. It should be 20s. So 23, 24, 27, so on. Thereabout. It is like a
27,
very,
28.
very tight 5-minute window.
Okay.
That there are some in there, and one of them before, because they're both getting up instantly, or getting their jackets on, getting ready to leave. The one who was clearly sleeping turns around and is like, looks like he had a friend he headed out with. You
Had a friend.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. I'm gonna go home and sleep. Tell the chief I'm coming back. I'm supposed to be
Will
on
do.
the day shift. I'll be back in a couple hours. All right. Good day.
Will do. Get some food and get some sleep.
I'm getting all of it.
So yeah, I delve into the footage and see what I can find.
Okay, you both sit. You're both as you sit down, you get them. You realize that they've been watched all the way to the end. Probably they fell asleep at some point. So chances are, if anything happened in the last whatever hour, maybe they probably missed it. Either that, or they have just not gone back. So you go back, and you get back down to around 5:23.
And this is PM, not AM.
This is PM, yes. This is 5:23 p.m., which would be about 20 minutes later than 20 minutes after he was allowed to leave work a little early. Let me do something real quick because I'm looking
that's
extra
a
white.
tight timeline.
So
We'll see what's in it, I guess, before they may have left and then come back.
yeah, at 5:23. Wait. There are more times from camera 1. There's also 6:07 p.m.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yep.
6:07.
I felt like I was missing something.
That's on cam 1.
Yes. No. God damn it. 6:37.
What answers, Daddy?
I wrote all these goddamn things myself. And then also at camera 1.
We know at your age, sometimes reading's hard.
I know. Look,
The eyesight starts to go.
it's what were we up to? 104, you said?
103, I think.
103, yes. Also, camera 1, 2:46 a.m.
2:46 a.m.
Yes. So,
Interesting.
okay, now that I finally have my head somewhat on straight. I mess up, y'all. At 5:23, you see basically the shot. This is from the angle. Is looks like the outside of a store that kind of covers down bits of the parking lot. Not a full parking lot view at all, but just a private little entrance and a few parking slots. And you see the black Mustang come rolling in. See, he steps out, kind of looks around, closes the door, and just wanders off. Lining it up with the ATM camera, you do see the classic black and white ATM shot basically down, where all you can recognize of him is that he's wearing the same clothes. These, which I believe white, like a white shirt or something, and a pair of jeans, and the worker's boots.
Oh, so we're actually seeing Terry.
Yes,
so we
this
know
is
he was
Terry.
alive.
Yeah, this is Terry.
This is the dead dude.
This is the dead
Yeah.
dude. Yes. See him walk past the ATM, only recognizing him by the clothes, and then you see from the flower shop camera. Moment after, you see him walk up to the flower shop, walk into it, and moments after coming out of it with a bouquet in hand. You then see him go further down a little bit, where you see him dive into the right. Both of you being local know that he walks into a butcher shop. Yeah, that was a thing once, Michael. Once you didn't just go down to like a superstore.
No, I know that. I'm like, I'm trying to like, the order of operations on that. Like, why wouldn't you go to the butcher shop first? But
Hey, as you can see it, the flower shop was first in line. And moments after, you see him again come out, paper bag in hand, and start walking back the other way. You see him return to his car by 5:28 ish. Might have, let's say 5:28, because I've already messed up enough in those numbers. It was a quick shop, okay? There were not a lot of people there.
Yeah, that cuts the meat ready.
Yeah.
Available.
Yes, exactly. So you see him come back to his car on the first camera. Those few moments later, he puts the bag and the bouquet on the roof of the car and starts unlocking the car and opening it. And as he opens it, he stops and he kind of turns his head around, and you see him kind of like open his mouth like he's talking to someone. And he stops and he closes the door and he lifts his hand up. You see him very clearly do like that. And then he looks around and he moves out of frame towards the camera, basically, and leaving the bouquet and the bag on top. And that's where he disappears.
and when we got there, there was no bouquet, or I mean, that might be later on, but
there was no bouquet.
go to the next clip of whatever.
Yeah.
6:37. 37. You see from the frame, from the bottom of the frame where he had walked into, you see a figure dart in, grab the bouquet and the bag, and just dart off to the side in a real damn hurry.
Can we?
You
I
can
don't know,
basically,
like,
you can. I feel like I've seen enough movies from the 80s to know that they have like this little thing. They turn this little thing.
enhance doesn't work.
There-
But yeah.
There's no enhancing, but there's very
Yeah,
much
I know.
like frame by frame turning it.
Right, yeah. Mostly just like, can we try and deduce like size-wise? How tall is this? Somewhat the same build as Terrence, or is this?
You can
something-
compare him to the car height.
Yeah, no,
That's one
he's
way we
he's
can do it.
he's a little bit bigger. He's a little bit bigger, but I'll also say as you
It's fucking fairy.
as you stop on one of these frames, the clearest one you can, you feel like you recognize this guy. Like he looks like one of the local, like not homeless people, but one of the people who really don't have much, and you are quite often. There's like a good handful of people that you could go straight to right now and probably arrest for having stolen something recently. Just because they're trying to survive.
You
Like,
bet, Detective Ellis, we're about to do that.
There's a few. In particular, there's a guy called Eddie Carpenter that you're like, yeah, this could be Eddie. You've both seen, like, he has the size for it. The style of clothes is very much like, it's raggedy, but not like super raggedy. Like, it's not definitely homeless
Not
as
on
much
the
as it is
street,
as.
but it's
Yeah, it's not on the street, but it's probably probably doesn't have his own, what's it called, like fucking clothing washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just do this real quick. Yes, that is what you have on that, and then the very last one. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Is 2:46 a.m. So you're sitting there, you've got your notes. Fucking Eddie, goddamn thieving piece of shit. Fine, and you go on and you You fast forward, turn it all the way up to 2:46 a.m. You land at 2:46 a.m. and the seconds start passing by, and you see first a bit of shadow appear at the very bottom of the screen, and then you see a tall figure with its back to you, with the back to the camera, walk in from under the camera, basically. He's hooded, has a bag in his hand, or in their hand. Jesus Christ, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Has a bag in his hand, goes over to the car, sets the bag onto the hood, and starts taking out the clothes. And you can see they kind of take their time, like not folding it. It seems to have been folded when he took it up, because he's not like, folding all that bullshit. He's just kind of like making sure it's neat. Takes up the boots and takes up something, presumably the hammer, puts it up. They take the bag and fold it up, pocket it in their like jacket or like blouse hoodie pocket, and just quietly, very carefully, barely turns to the side and walks around the car and out of frame, heading away up the street.
Up the street. So which camera did we see this footage on? Is it the first?
Camera one. Yeah. The camera one, which would be, let's say it's from the 80s Beth Bath and Beyond, where you were already in. Because that's the store I can remember now.
Hammock Tub and Beyond at this point.
Hammock Tub. Yes. Yes. You... yes, that is what you get.
Interesting. So this is sort of like a strip mall structure. So is it like, let's say there's a walkway between the stores and all that, and there's an overhang and cameras, and it's looking out towards the parking
lot? No overhang.
No overhang? Okay.
It's very much like in California, in Los Angeles, I saw a lot of these. It's basically just like 10 stores in like shops going down that way, and then you just have a parking lot. Like it's very like tiny outdoor sensory. That's what I had in mind for it. It might not be a thing in Arkansas in the 80s. I don't know. Now it fucking is.
Okay.
But no big overhang. Not a lot of public camera coverage aside from what the stores have.
Do I remember when I was looking at the camera? Why I'm asking is I'm wondering if it's coming from underneath the camera. Was it like they were slinking along the side of the shops and maybe were aware of the camera? And
they do appear to have been aware of the camera, yes. At least not, I mean, from them just walking in, it could be whatever. Because it could just be where they came from. Because it is very much like filming the outside of a store that has like a wall here, but then it just happens to also catch some parking lots down in front of the store. But the way he walks out of frame is very careful not to turn too far into the vision of the camera so that it might show his face. So it only shows the hood. So that means you can deduct fairly easily that he probably knew the camera was there.
Okay.
Because he stayed out of it the first time, too.
So Reno knocks the table accidentally with his leg and moves the camera. But then he also pulls back because he's trying to see, because my memory is goldfish to the max. He was at the car, and then so he scrubs back to that footage, and because he's trying to get an idea, like he was talking to somebody, and then what happens when I scrub back? Because I'm trying to.
He walks basically. You're talking about when Terry leaves, when Terrence leaves.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out.
Basically, when you see Terrence, he walks up to the car. He puts his bouquet and his bag on top of the car. He opens the door. And then as he's about to put stuff in, he kind of turns his head and he looks back.
And then he did the shushy thing.
Has like his mouth moves. He's talking to someone. And then he's like quickly, as if someone said something that should not be said. As though like someone who might have if you walked up to a pusher on the street and went like, "Yo, bro, you got some coke?" They would be like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?"
No, here,
It's like,
here is your
no.
Coca-Cola.
No, I only sell Pepsi. God damn it. And then he closes the door, doesn't lock it, and leaves out towards
And
where the person was talking to, which is not quite the same as where you saw the person come in from, but it is in that, like, it is towards the camera. It's just a bit more out to the side.
Okay. And in the distance, is it like towards a wooded area, or is it more like
stores.
city? We're not.
It is down.
More
It is
stores.
filming down towards lane of stores because it's basically where he walked down, and then walked past the ATM and down to the flower shop and butcher.
I figure it's just audio, visual. There's no audio to this footage, is there?
No.
Figure
No.
not. Okay.
There's barely a visual, to be honest. Like, you've
Yeah.
probably seen more detail than anyone in the 80s thought was even possible back then.
Yeah. We have cameras. So
Like,
aren't
how
we
do you know
using,
he did this? Couldn't it have been this?
They only had like 3 pixels back then. They don't have.
Yeah. They had so few pixels,
only
they'd
used
given
so
them all names.
Jerry and Terry and Tim and Jim and.
Yeah, now Terry's dead.
Oh man, you have 2 pixels.
Yes. But yeah.
Oh my god. What do you think about this, Ellis?
Well, answers a couple questions. If he went willingly, at least to a point, and then so he probably knew the person.
Do we
Or-
have? Go ahead. Sorry.
Or he's involved in something that guy knew because of the. He said something that meant that there's a connection there, and that's key. It's hard to find out if a stranger did it, but if they know somebody,
Yeah.
something to go off of.
Do we? I don't know. You've been looking at the notes more than me. Did we get a rough estimate of what the distance from the parking lot to the murder site is? Because that's where we've narrowed it down. Because that's the next question. That
I feel like I gave you a distance, but I can't remember it, so I think, but I think it was like 3-ish miles.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like 3 to 5, probably in that range.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see here. So if I have shit wired and I actually took good enough notes. Let's see. Couple one. Boots, shirts, socks.
Because you're in the city proper, in the town proper here. Like, very central-ish.
Is what's occurring to me, if he's going off to somebody, we're dealing with the time here. I'm trying to narrow down whether it's possible he could have walked to the murder site, but more realistically, who the fuck wants to walk? We're in modern times, the 80s, we have vehicles.
Well, also,
Maybe.
this is 5:20 something, and these shops,
520.
they ain't closed,
Yeah,
and we know he stopped at 2 of them.
right.
Got places to go and talk to folks, but they might have seen him get in a car, or they might have heard a car leave.
Yeah. Well,
But
and
also, how busy is this part of the Did it on the cameras? Does it look busy, or is it? I mean, you said nobody was shopping
Yeah.
because it was fast.
It is a fairly, it's a small town. It's small. It's around 20,000 people, and it was 5:20 some. So it is after a lot of people have gone off work. So there were definitely shoppers. But it's not even a big enough city that it's like a fucking rush place. And also, this wasn't like a big store. There are no big stores right at this spot. So yeah, there are people going to the butchers. There are people getting flowers for their wives. There are people doing some last minute shopping before the stores close. But it's not filled with people.
Okay.
But there might be someone who saw something.
Could be.
There's also the fact that we need to
Maybe.
send a beat cop to go pick up Eddie again.
I don't know if it is Eddie. I mean, it might just be an opportunist situation where, yeah, there's
Oh, it probably was, but also
These
just fuck the
flowers
guy.
and
This is a
whatever.
murder investigation.
yeah, but because what's occurring to me, he shushing somebody. Maybe he was going to meet someone, and he leaves. Maybe he was exiting the parking lot, gets into another car. The car then goes to the location. Whoever he met with, maybe one or more people, then they kill him, and then for some reason they come back. Seem to be aware of the camera, so they're.
They seem to be aware of the camera both times because they stayed out of it the first time too. Which makes me think either luck or this wasn't a pickup in an unexpected spot.
Yeah. Was the individual that took the meat and flowers running, and then the person coming in from underneath, is it the similar clothing?
No, not at all.
No, different individual.
Also, you'll also notice different size.
Different size. Okay.
Was the quote unquote perp was he small?
The guy in the hoodie. The guy in the hoodie was quite a bit larger than, quite a bit taller at least than Terrence. Terrence is a small, I believe, 5'5". Let's see, yeah, 5'5". This particular person, it's hard to say, but he's above 6 foot. You're sure of that much?
Above 6 foot. Okay. So
also, the question I have.
Go ahead.
If he's grabbing flowers, usually you don't do something unless either you fucked up, ask my ex-wife, or there's an anniversary, a birthday, and Miss what's her face, crying bitch, yeah, she that's me not remembering her name, but
the quasi widow, yeah, that one.
She didn't say anything.
What do you mean? I mean, I think she was in the shell shock aspect of just hearing
but
that.
she didn't say it was their anniversary. She didn't say it was her birthday.
Ooh.
And we asked if there was any reason, and she didn't say she was mad at him or anything. Why was he getting flowers?
She thought he was out drinking.
Yeah. So why was he getting flowers?
And he wasn't. In theory, we know he wasn't drinking, at least at that one place, because we scrubbed around there. So maybe it's more. Maybe there was an affair of some sort.
There could have been an affair, or could be she's hiding something. Obviously, that ain't her, based on size, but
yeah.
But I don't know. It could be nothing, but it's something.
Yeah, there's definitely something. So.
Also, why was he grabbing meat? She wasn't like he was supposed to come home and cook dinner.
Well, would we know if the butcher shop would have? There's no pre-cooked stuff. It's all raw, right?
Yeah. No, it's not. This isn't some modern day place where they make your food for you. Hell no. You get a cut of beef and then you get the fuck out and go home and put it on the barbecue or something.
You want chuck? You want you get 3 things.
What do you want? You want chuck? You want minced meat? What do you want? No, we don't do that. Bang! Here, that's what you get. $5. That's the kind of butcher.
Yeah.
So where was he going? When did she expect him back? Was there time for an affair?
And we're forgetting too that supposedly he hasn't been there for a while.
Just a moment. Now you're frozen.
To the drinking place, or?
Yeah. Because he had initially, because we heard that from the bartender, that he was a regular, blah, 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 blah. 7 months ago, she starts, make yourself a better person, all that shit. And, has standards. And so he dials it back. Maybe he goes a little stir crazy because of that and switches it up. Maybe, a lot of people, when they have one thing, they'll switch into a different thing to fill the void of maybe you missed drink, and so he's switching to something else.
Getting a different kind of drink. Hey, still thirsty. I'm so sorry for James.
Okay, so one potential thing we can do, see who was on that shift at the butcher shop. I'm sure it might even be just one dude who works there. Have a chat with him. Maybe Terry was like, oh, I'm going to go see ba 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 ba. Or maybe there was small talk, you know, no.
Same thing at the flower shop. Maybe, what are these for, you know?
Oh,
I'm getting them for my girl, because if he says that, then it's...
Yeah.
But also, it's a small town.
I doubt he'll be like, you know, oh, I need to go see my mistress now, and I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Or, you know. Okay, so in switching gears a little bit, have a looked around. Is there any info back from Kyle and Murphy on the potential of where the nails and or rope may have come from, origin wise?
Yeah, yes, there would have come because you sent them out yesterday in the afternoon. Yes. None of the hardware stores or similar stores in the area had anything specific to say about it. There was no one had purchased anything irregularly, and they hadn't noticed anyone weird.
Okay.
And the hammer wasn't like branded, like it didn't have like Osh.
No. It wasn't. No, it wasn't like it was just like a regular hammer. Basically, like the type of hammer that you can buy fucking anywhere.
Yeah, that's. But just I mean, because that's a thing. They love to stick their names on it.
Yeah. But no. They found that the nails would not even typically be sold by this type of like hardware stores, because they are they're not just nails, like they're industrial big ones. So like the hammer that was used and the hammer that you have it's not like a tiny little knocking the nail. It has a big head, but it's not like a two-handed one. It is like a one
Not
hand
a sledge,
but like
it's in between.
Yeah.
Is it like one of those like black rubber mallet type things?
Size-wise, it's similar, but it's not rubber. It is
metal.
it is a metal.
Okay.
It needs that heft.
That's right.
Somewhere between a regular hammer and a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
That sweet spot somewhere.
I will say you will also have had the toxicology report done.
Okay.
With just the initial report being called in real quick, whereas where he would have been like, you can come down here and get the entire report whenever you have time, but the skinny of it is nothing in his system.
Nothing in his system. Okay, because I was waiting.
Or nothing unusual in his system.
Any large amount of protein?
Large amount of protein.
Well, he left the meat on the thing that got taken.
Well, that's what I want to know.
Oh, yeah, so you were thinking he was on like a protein?
I was wondering. Yeah. I don't.
That's good. No, he's not. He wasn't a gym rat.
Okay.
Remember, you did ask what was in his stomach.
That's
and
true.
It wasn't a giant hunk of meat. It was like a sandwich or something.
Yeah, it was like the basic, like he had lunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, part of me wants to go and revisit the woman, but I feel like that's not the
I feel like we should
pressing thing right this second.
And plus, we did a number in that situation. We need to let that cool off a bit some more.
I mean, I was gonna send you because she probably don't want to see me.
That's a fair point too.
Oh, you did ask for something else yesterday, on the other day before. The number for Terrence's parents have been left for you.
That's right.
Okay. So we can have that.
We
Enjoy
also
it.
asked if those socks were the ones in his mouth, but I feel like that was a thing. That
Yes.
Isn't
That would also have come
necessarily
from that would also have come from the doctor. They do seem to match. They are match in as much as that they are the same type of fabric, the same color, and they are probably from that. Yeah, from the socks.
Now I wonder. This could be reaching even further. But if these nails aren't commonly available at a hardware store, maybe is there any sort of
blacksmith.
Well, no. I'm thinking like contractor for construction. You know, it's not really open to regular clientele like Joe Schmo can walk off the street and I want some concrete nails that or whatever.
But also blacksmiths who could have made it custom.
Did the nails?
I don't know. Is that how old is the 80s? Did you get blacksmiths on the street? I don't think so.
Yes, you walk down the street and you just see people like, ding, ding. Why, hello there, officer. Ding. I'm just getting ready to put shoes on my horse so I can drive down the river.
Mustang axle's almost ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you mind just pushing down on the bellows over there, good officer? Yeah, no, we're not that far back.
Well, I wonder.
The 80s, how
We
dare
still
you?
have
I was
could be
born
like a
in
hobby.
the 80s, sir.
I mean, like at Williamsburg, yeah, but like it's not as big as it used to be, like 200 years ago in the 1800s.
I'm missing a
got
big
down
clue
a
though.
little
The blacksmith did it.
That's fair. There might be like a custom blacksmith guy
Colonel Mustard with the candlestick.
locally. Sure, I'll say, yeah, you could have that. There is that.
Perfect.
There are definitely construction companies, and there are definitely construction sites that would probably use something like that.
But is there like a supply house that those construction people get their stuff?
Probably, yeah.
Not like,
Yeah, there would probably be. It would probably not be in town. It would probably be something they had delivered or sent their own pickup to.
They only needed 3 nails. They could have pilfered something from just a construction site walking by.
that's true. Is there any larger scale? Did we establish what style of nails these are? Are these like roofing nails? Are these concrete nails? Like that could narrow down where we might look for these if you were just stealing them off the street.
Let me see if I can't find a picture for you because I'm not sure.
And plus, I'm sort of talking out of my ass here because I'm no expert in nails, but I'm just trying to like narrow it down.
Yeah, that's my problem as well, is that I'm not actually an expert on nails. So when I was like, hey, big nails, I was like, yeah, they know big nails. I mean,
Yeah, they know big nails. They're not gonna ask me.
they're not going to ask me what kind of nails they
An
are.
R10 use style roofing nail.
Used primarily for
Masonry
summer
nails?
use,
Hanging meat.
not winter use nails.
I think-
you got to get the right seasonal nails for the job.
I think masonry nails is the word for them.
Masonry nails. Okay.
I think. Like, they're big, thick boys, you know?
Okay. In the general area of Russellville, is there any real sort of construction going on?
Yeah, there's a bit, especially in Russellville, because as you know, you've had like about 50% growth in town over the past like decade almost. Like you've had about 7,000 people come into town that used to be 14,000 people. So yeah, a lot of building has been happening. A lot of both houses and condos and workplaces. Like there's a lot. There's a lot that's been happening.
Can we send Kyle and Murphy back out? Maybe with some backup if there's a
we'll
lot.
We'll send them to the contractor supply area where contractors get their stuff, and maybe there could be more of a ping there. Got to keep them busy.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
Let's see. We
Do you
could.
want to send anybody out to the every construction site and just give more people the day off?
Just do it to
Maybe
the same
Officers
guy.
Caroline and Colt, if we're sticking with the theme.
Caroline and Colt. Yeah, sure. Officers Caroline and Colt. Very much. They thank you for this awesome job.
So you could, I need you all to
Searching
pan
every
out.
construction site for a nail.
Yeah.
We're looking for this style of nail, and I'll have like a
Yeah.
scrubbed out to get the dimensions and see specifically if there's some way
And then we
that
have
someone
3 of
could-
them, so each team can have one, and then we have one.
Very well. Yes.
So, what occurs to me, okay, let's say I might be overthinking this, but let's say someone shows up, maybe on the way to seeing Terry. They were just like, "Oh, look, construction site. I pilfer some rope, pilfer some nails." So I'm thinking we need to head out to the shopping
It was
complex.
probably a little bit more premeditated than on the way, but it's a start.
Crime of passion, maybe. I mean, we don't know.
Shot him
but-
3 times and had a Bible verse. But,
That's some fucked up passion right there.
Thinking on the fly.
to be
On the
fair,
fly.
shooting more than once when past dead is a crime of passion thing versus a premeditated thing.
Very true.
Premeditated would be one done, chop it up 6 ways, spread it out across the city. Don't ask.
I don't think I will, Illis. So the other thing, in addition to checking around the immediate area of the shopping center for possible nails, is also we might want to prioritize talking to the butcher, because that might shed some more light on what's going on.
We should start
And
to
the flower
the
shop.
flower shop and the butcher. That should be probably our first stop.
Yeah.
Depending what they say, we may need to go visit the bitch that cried, the widow. Let's call her that.
Quasi widow. Yeah.
We'll just call her the widow.
Okay, yeah. Let's not use her name.
I
that
don't
would,
remember her name.
that would get awkward.
Actually, I might have written the name down. I just didn't
I mean, you
scroll.
probably did. I certainly didn't. Okay.
Let's see here. Cherry, couple weeks. Johnny, Tammy, Mustang, River Phoenix.
That is the
Ronald
River Phoenix.
Simmons.
Ronald Simmons. I'm so glad you wrote down Ronald Simmons.
Alvarez. Been dead a couple hours. Morgue. So go back. Children of the Corn.
Corn, yes.
I will give it to you. I will give it to
Yeah.
you just
So,
to never hear
Jackie.
Michael
there we go.
call her the crying bitch again. Jackie
I'm
Sussman.
gonna continue to do so.
Sussman,
Oh, that's right.
yep.
How did we forget Sussman?
Yes,
In the murder case. Wow.
it's very sus, man.
I mean, it's canon that I wasn't a good detective. So.
Crewmate, there's an imposter among us,
yes.
But,
But yes, okay. So you're driving over to check with the butcher and
Butcher,
the flower lady,
flower
the
shop.
flower shop owner.
mile
What
a
are they
minute
called?
police work.
What are
Let's
they
go.
called? I'll tell you
What
what
did you
they're
name them,
called.
Danny?
I'll tell you what they're called. The butcher is named Aldrich Salvage.
Aldrich Salvage?
Yes,
Like a fucking salvage yard?
yes.
Is it the name of
SALVAGA.
the butcher or the butcher's shop?
No, that is the name of the butcher.
Oh,
The name of the butcher shop is Meat
Okay.
Salvage.
oh, great. I think we
Does he
found who did it.
specialize in roadkill? What the fuck? I guess it's his name.
I mean, you
All
are
right,
now
well,
Arkansas, right?
I mean,
Arkansas.
What is it? Butcher's Salvage? What's the name of the shop?
Meat Salvage.
Meat Salvage.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Meat Salvage.
The Meat Salvage.
Yeah, we're fancy.
classy
We
here.
fancy out here. The
Meat
Meat
It's not even
Salvage.
it's Le Meat Salvage.
La Meat Salvage.
Yeah.
meat. Le
Le
meat
meat
salvage.
salvage.
There we go.
I'll give it.
Yep.
I'll take it. La Meat Salvage.
Oh my
Well, we'll
god.
need to head into
Le Meat
La
Salvage,
Meat
yes.
Salvage. And what's the flower shop?
Best raccoon in the county, that's for sure.
The flower shop is owned by, let's see, Fiona Mendoza.
Fiona
And then the name of the shop, Danny?
Mendoza.
The name of the shop is just the Lily Pad.
The
There you
lily pad. The lily pad. Okay. I mean, of the two, the French things, you'd think it'd be like the fleur de lis
You'd
or
think
some
so.
shit.
You'll
but,
find there's a lot of
the
weird.
lily pad.
You'll find there's a lot of things that would probably have been different in other places
Yeah.
about these
Yeah.
two. But yeah, so where are you going first?
Let's do the butcher first, and then have a palate cleanser with the flower shop.
All right, very well. So
I have a
you
feeling it ain't gonna be much of a palate cleanser.
so you walk into to Le Meat Sauvage, and you see a Aldrich slaving away behind the whole fucking counter thing. And to be fair, he might have a place called Le Meat Sauvage, but he has a very well taken care of like exhibition of meats, and everything is kept cooled. And you even see him while you're in there a couple times. You see him kind of like move away pieces that where you can see like this has been out too much and throw it out, rather than actually like just fucking ready it. Like apparently his business
Brush
does
it
well
with
enough.
lemon juice and just
Yeah,
put it back
exactly.
in
No,
the
this is fine.
fucking
So yeah,
That's why Eddie came by, huh? For the thrown out meat.
the cheap meats. But yeah, he kind of looks up and he looks out. And you see Aldrich is this big dude, like easily 6'8", broad shoulders and shit.
shit.
He kind of stands there with his big cleavage, like, "Well, hello, officers. How you doing?" You all know that when he was young, he had an accident where he ran straight into like one of those fuck, what are they called? Like those things that open up
Meat
and then
cleavers.
smack. No, it's like oh shit, I can't remember what the
A
name
door
is.
stopper, the little.
It's like kind of like a door stopper, but a bigger version of it. Not that does this, but like basically like a swinging. It's almost like it acts like almost a bat when you get it
Slapped
swung
in the
at you.
face, huh?
And he got slapped straight on the throat, and his vocal cords have been fucked ever since. But that doesn't make him any less dangerous with a cleaver. Haha.
Did he get hit in the throat or in the balls?
No, it's the throat. It's the throat.
Oh, okay.
So,
Hello, detectives. Officer.
hello, Mr. Salvage. We are interested. Did you happen to see
I mean, we know he did.
individual last night come in? Appeared to pick up some sort of cut. Did you hear any? Was he talkative at all?
What?
One Mr. Terrence, hello, and
Oh,
I
Terry!
presume we've gotten a picture if we need to, like
Yeah,
generic,
sure.
like,
Like a generic.
versus not like a dead crime scene photo.
Yeah.
Like, we got it back from the Kodak picture moment here.
Have you seen this guy? If you look real good, no,
This
don't
is ass
don't
cheeks.
look at the ass. Look up there. Don't look at the ass.
Where he's pinned to the tree.
Yes.
Now,
Ignore the
see
3
back
bullet
of his head.
holes. Oh yeah, you have a picture.
Call it-
where he went from happy with flowers and some sort of flavor meat to tree pinned to a tree like a fucking butterfly.
Hold up 2 pictures. The one in front is the good one, and the other one is the one where he's dead. Just like, do you know what happened from here to here? No, but yeah, you show him the picture. You say the name Terry as well, and he's very much like, oh yeah, Terry came in. He was getting himself a what was it? A cut of loin, I think. Yeah, wanted to surprise the. Are you making fun of me, motherfucker?
No. No, sorry.
Hey,
No.
usually that's my job. I'm proud of you.
He wanted
really sorry.
to surprise his girlfriend Jackie, so I got him a
Oh,
good
okay.
cut of meat for a cheap buck.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
He's a good kid.
Interesting. Okay, so he even mentioned Jackie. Excellent. Well, that's unfortunate. Did he? Did you get the sense that he was just going home and probably gonna,
Yeah,
prepare dinner and have fun?
yeah, probably Jackie take care of the dinner. I wouldn't trust Terry with a piece of beef.
Good point.
Trust him with a hammer and specifically 3 nails. Did he have a weird reaction when I said it?
No weirder than anyone. You asked that question, I guess. I'll let you roll your psychology. Oh, your psychology, or your psycho, what is it? Psychoanalysis.
I gotta roll sometimes, guys.
That's true. It's fair. Yes.
14 under 51.
Okay, that's very good. That's a hard success. No. Like, yes, it's a weird reaction, but it's also a weird question. So it's
also
like,
a weird question. It's like, nah, he's not like, They found me out.
yeah, no. He's there. There doesn't seem to be any recognition. You might say. So he's like, "Oh, you'll never catch me." No, he's very much like, I guess. I mean, he's small, but he's a great mechanic. So I mean, I don't see why not. Probably good with his hands.
Fair enough.
Bet you the crime get your beers.
Just hear crackling knuckles. Click, click, click.
Let's see. Well, I appreciate your time. I would definitely be back. I need to get some food for later on. So, give you some business for your trouble. Thank you for helping us out.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Terry's all right, right? He's okay?
No, we found him dead last night.
Oh, wait, you found him dead?
Yes.
9. But he was going home when he was here.
So we checked out the footage, right? And yeah, we have an idea that he left around 5 p.m. from work, and he was found around 9 o'clock and was deceased. So we're in the process of trying to narrow down.
We had a time of death between, because we knew there was something about.
There's something with 7 p.m.
No later than 7. Yeah, he was killed no later than 7.
Yeah. So we're trying to narrow down. We see that he left this parking area approximately.
He finished his shopping about 5:30, give or take.
Yeah, when he was done here, he said he was just going home. He had flowers with him and everything.
Yeah, it's a real crying shame. We saw on the footage someone stole the flowers and the meat. As he was getting into his car.
It was Eddie. He comes around here probably often.
Oh, fucking Eddie!
The trash.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I give him some of the meat I throw out. You know, this can be eaten. And he takes one of the logs and just like tosses it out. But you know, I can't have it laying around there. You know, I don't want to sell it to the customers. I get enough business, so I give it sometimes to Eddie and the others for free. But they still do that shit. They'll steal.
Don't worry, we send Officer Ari out to pick him up, and we'll have questions later.
Yeah, I like Officer Ari. He bring great business. Very friendly.
Guys, I'm running out of friends.
Just don't send that fucking Lieutenant Kyle out here. He's a real dickhead.
God, I hadn't even heard he'd gotten a promotion to lieutenant.
We've been sending him out to check out nails at hardware shops, so he's busy.
Hey, Colt, you and Caroline are checking out construction sites. Don't worry.
Yeah, Colt. Officers Caroline and Colt have been sent out to check nails.
You're on nail duty with Kyle and Murphy.
Yes.
So we've narrowed down that we saw him get ready to leave around 6:07. And then from the coroner report, we know that he died around, because when he was found at 9 p.m.,
Wait, who left 6:07?
He seemed to have left the car. On the footage, he was getting ready to get into his car. He had placed it on the back. I think he was probably getting into the car or open it up, probably get his groceries, and then go in and leave. Somebody appears to have talked to him. He turns around and shushes to him and then goes off out of camera view, and we don't know what happened. So we're in the process of trying to narrow down what
strange.
happened from 6:07 to 53 minutes later.
I wish I could help you, but I'm just a butcher that you're giving all these information to. But I'll take it.
You see Ellis is just like staring at Lee Reno like, are you just going to give him the entire case file? Like, would you like to hand the file over?
Listen, it's been a fucking hell of a 24 hours, all right? This is close to a therapist I'll ever fucking go to, all right?
Hey, if I can help, I'll help. Maybe a good glass of vino and some
Yeah, Vino and Reno, and he'll be back later for some more therapy, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't get too much vino and Reno, as they say.
Yeah.
Have a good one, officers.
Have a good one, Mr. Salvage.
Chung!
So we'll go back out and go to the next fucking flower shop.
Oh yeah. Good.
As they're walking, are you gonna tell her everything, or is that just a butchered thing?
It's been, like I said in there, we saw a man pinned to a tree. What do you fucking expect? All right. It's been a shocker for all of us.
Professionalism.
Yeah, I should piss off the widows while I'm at it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm still solving the case. I don't got no bedside manner, but I'm on the case.
Let's go talk to whoever the fuck runs the lily pad.
Okay. Fiona Mendoza. Fiona Mendoza owns the lily pad. She's this little, not old lady. She's a little lady in like her 50s. Always seen with a cigarette in her hand. And she always wears like dresses, flowery dresses, but you can also see on the look on her that she hates fucking wearing dresses.
Mm.
But it's part of the whole gig, selling flowers. Oh, excuse me. Look in the
I'm
pot.
so fucking tired.
So yeah, you see, and you come in and she's very much sitting right inside with like a hat, like wafting the heat away, and just. Hey, hello, boys. What can I do for you today?
Hello, Miss Mendoza.
Yeah.
We're wondering if you could help us get some information on one Terry came in last night and
Terrence Hollow came in getting flowers for his
yeah, the scrawny one. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember him.
Yeah, he was no subtle way to say this, was murdered last night, and we're trying to figure out what happened. So
at least he's just like, the chief's gonna yell at me because the entire town knows there was a murder.
That's a terrible shame. No, I don't know anything about the kid, really. I mean, he seemed nice enough. It was all...
Did he say what he was getting the flowers for?
Yeah, his lady
He's got
friend,
a girl
I think.
back home,
Yeah. It's like a lady friend. He was gonna wow her,
Did he say her name by chance?
Fuck if I know. Who gives a shit? He was gonna go home. He'd gotten off work early, so he was gonna, he was gonna go home, woo her, wow her, throw her off her feet, I should be so lucky.
well, yeah. If you hear anything else, let us know.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure people are gonna come in here and confess just as soon as you leave, friend.
You never know.
You
really
never know. You never know. Hey, how about some flowers, huh? For that special someone? Huh?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
maybe you two,
what type did Terry pick up by any chance?
lilies.
Okay. Yeah.
I look around. Does she sell any other type of flowers?
Yeah. She sells all kinds of flowers, but lilies.
It's the lily pad because
lily pad.
Lilies definitely have like special spots, and it's very much like a theme. But yeah, there's all kinds like roses, tulips, other flowers that exist. What can I do for you, officer? What kind of flowers you want?
I'm thinking the Terry special. Why don't we get whatever?
The Terry special. That's fucking grim, friend. I'll tell you that. That's fucking grim. She starts plucking out lilies, like wraps them up. Just a moment. Hold that for me, dear.
Yep.
Thank you.
I take it instead, and I just put it out.
Well, I'm adding a rose to this because of that. That'll be $1 extra. Hands over the bouquet.
I pay for it.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Rolls it up and just sticks it down. And you do see that when she does it, it's like straight into like the strap of the bra. So it's like it's not down into it's not into any cleavage. It's just down beneath plastic. Or like it's like click.
Well, I mean, probably because based on her voice, her movies are down.
I don't know anything about that.
So, thank you for your time, ma'am. Let us know if you hear anything else.
Yeah,
Do
well.
you have any other customers around the same time that any regulars might have loitered about out front?
No. It was a slow day yesterday. It's been up to the weekend. Or after the weekend when people have been out cheating.
A fair point.
That's why I always cheated on my wife on Thursdays.
Smart man right there. I hope she cuts your balls off.
No, but she moved out of town when we broke up a couple years back, you know.
Even smarter. That way no one knows she was with you. Embarrassment. Anything else I can do for you boys? More flowers, baby?
I think that should do it for me, at least. How about you, Ellis? Do you need anything
I'm
for?
good. I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am. See you later.
Yeah, see you around. Very much
Just
like
get the fuck out of it.
checks out Reno as he leaves the shop.
Reno's
the flowers
eyes are
for, Reno?
straightforward. I had a really stupid thought of maybe getting it for Jackie, but I don't
That's
think
what I thought.
that's
I
I sort of
thought that when you were like, I'm gonna get the Terry special, and I'm like, man, props on that game, going for it right away, right when the burn is fresh.
it's like I
I
hear
see
you
it.
dreaming. Let's see what we can do about that. No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You thought Reno was the good cop.
I
You want to go knock on Jackie's door? Be like, yo, what that thing do?
I got you some flowers. They're like the ones Terry used to get for you.
Ooh.
Oh
Well, it's a single red rose to imply
I'm better
his
that way.
dead boyfriend. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm willing to
I
spend
was-
that extra $1.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just put that in the side of the cruiser. I guess I get back in the cruiser and start going into the direction of where we saw Terry walk off and try to see if there's any sort of clue as to what could have happened. Specifically, if we did get the info of how to navigate between this parking lot to where the murder site was, trying to see if there's the shortest route along that route. If they did end up to that area, I want to try to see if I can drive that area, see if there's any sort of, I don't know,
Let's
anything
say
else.
that they're in the same cruiser, so I can, because we got the phone number to the family. So while you're driving, can I make the phone call?
With what?
With what?
The
Yeah.
fucking
You're in
cruiser
1988.
with the cruiser.
My ham
Wi-Fi.
radio.
You gotta make the call with the hand radio?
Damn it! I forgot we're in the 80s.
TV radio. Like,
There's
Yeah,
no
my
calling.
ham radio.
breaker,
There's
breaker.
no
Connect
with my brick.
operator. I need to call fucking California.
You're not a Los Angeles officer in '88, sir. You are a Russellville, Arkansas officer. You barely have radios.
We barely have landlines. I don't know what
Very
what
true.
you're looking for.
As for getting out there, you do know as soon as you basically turn to the direction Terry went off camera, you're just at the road. Like, it's basically where it is. You just get to the road, you can go left or right. You know that if you head north and you keep going north for like a quarter mile, half a mile maybe, you'll get up to a small bit of freeway, I think the name would be, that leads out to the greater highway that connects the area. And if you follow that freeway a few miles, you will be probably an eighth of a mile south of where you found where the body was found, like straight through some forest area.
Yeah, I'll park at that area and then try to walk into the forest. Is it still day, right? We're not dipping.
Oh yeah,
towards
no,
nighttime
I'd say
at this
you're
point.
Because we came in the morning, yeah.
yeah, you're at
Let's
worst
see,
it's like close to
It's
noon.
not Sunday
maybe.
yet because we were what? It was
No, it's
Tuesday the murder
Thursday.
happened. So it's Thursday now.
Yes.
So I
Because on
would
Sunday is the day we go to harass some priests, right? Is that the?
You want to do it during mass?
Well, I want to go and listen to the mass because I'm like, if they're like,
through the door and just
Jesus
like
died for our
what do you
sins, then we should
know?
emulate his example. If there's something weird going on.
I want to real quick just make sure you understand, Michael. I'm not doing a full sermon. I'm not doing a full sermon for you.
No, that's what I want on Wednesday's episode. episode, I want you to have written an entire sermon that takes like an hour and a half of the show.
You heard it, folks. Michael's not coming on Wednesday.
This is we should have changed all this is the last episode.
Yes. But no, yeah, okay. So you want to go in. You can make your way through. There's nothing particularly difficult about making the way through. It's not so closely grown that it's impossible to move, but it is troublesome-ish.
I do a cursory glance around the parking lot. Any sort of noticeable distress that would...
See, there is no parking lot here. This is just freeway, but there will typically be little areas where you can go in and park if you need to rest for a moment, if you need to, whatever you need to do, make a call or what. Well, not a call back then. So yeah, and it takes you like maybe 10 minutes of walking to get to the scene of the crime, presumably. And you realize that the way you've walked, it could be how they got there. It would mean that they had crossed the path. Instead of staying on the southern side, they would have had to cross the path to go over to the northern side where you found the corpse. Where you found the corpse,
Anything in this little parking area, when I check around on the ground, is there any sort of buttons or anything unusual?
Cigarette butts, some cans, yeah.
Okay.
No, this murder manifestos or anything,
No, there's no, sadly not. It would have been great.
No note on the fucking thing. You are one step closer, officer.
Yeah.
Fucking... Okay, so we're getting an idea of how they could have shown up there. And you said it's like 3 or 4 miles to get approximately to this thing.
Yeah, I would say having just driven it, you know that it's probably, let's say 4 miles. Yeah.
Pretty quick drive, especially by car and not on foot.
Yeah.
Hence the word drive and not walk.
It's very true.
But...
Yeah. Yes. Not a by-foot and car.
God.
It's not the Flintstones.
Yep.
Yeah, you would say if they had left, as it seems he left at 5:30-ish, then he could have been driven out and taken to the murder scene if they had done precisely what you two just did. 5:50, 5:55 maybe.
5:50-ish.
So it would fit in the timeline. Still doesn't explain the struggle or lack thereof that happened if it was only one person, but that's seems outside of our realm of solving for the moment. But so
just for shits and giggles, should we go back to the crime scene? Sometimes these weird fucks that do this type of thing want to go back to the crime scene and relive it if they're sort of adrenaline junkies. Should we see, if nothing else, for daylight, maybe, or you miss something in the dark?
We can.
I would say you're basically there since you've just walked in there.
Right. But just like a policy question of like, do we have the area blocked off? Like, or is it just the body's gone? You can keep your old lady walking your dog now.
Yeah, no, it's no longer blocked off. It's been 2 days, or a day and a half rather. And everything was removed basically on the night. There wasn't really anything on the ground that was found. The technicians team didn't find like anything that they had to walk around and pick up and shit. Like there was no reason to keep it shut. No.
I just sort of go and outside of the main area of where it all happened to try to, even though it's not technically a crime scene, I'm just doing sort of a perimeter walk around that area on the greater area to see if there's like a different angle.
Okay.
Just look at things. I don't know if I need to roll something.
Okay. Just let's hear. Michael, are you doing anything specific while he's doing that?
I probably would just walk around as well, but also because we did the fingerprintings at the have we gotten any like these were at both places yet, or is that still
No, they're still being tested.
processed?
Still being processed. I think all you would have been told is that.
Lots were found, I imagine, because car.
Yeah, I mean there were quite a few, but they've.
I also don't know if the 80s is like we've got a registry of everyone born.
I think there was a beginning of a registry, but not like
I would think if nothing else, like Social Security, like babies would have a Social Security number. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just something that I would have literally no idea.
I think you would have been told that there were something like 5 maybe consistent fingerprints that they're running now and testing against, what is expected to be there.
Okay.
And yes, one of them would for sure be Terry's. That because they have his corpse, they can compare that right away. So yeah, Will or Reno rather, roll me. Shit. What are we gonna do that? Roll me intelligence.
Okay.
Simple intelligence roll. That'll do it.
Intelligence. Let's see. Go to the different thing. Get that specific thing. All right. Beneath the 70. Oh my god, that's a 71. I'm gonna at least burn. Well, yeah, I'll burn one luck to get.
See, now the thing is, do we actually work with luck? Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? It's for a normal. I hadn't actually taken into consideration that luck is a thing in this game. But yes,
maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
I'll allow it. Because this is not. I'll say if it had been like a super important thing, I would probably have said no pushing with luck. But this is a relatively minor thing. As you're walking around the area, you start to understand why it was on the northern side of the corpse, or why it could be on the northern side. The way that the path walks is basically almost like an omega. So you have the circle kind of thing. You can see it on the picture of the area I put up, where it basically goes like up in like a circle that goes out and in. So if it had been on the southern side, no one would have shined their lights in there, or would be as likely to shine their lights in there. Whereas on the northern side, no matter which side you come from, where you found the body, light would have gone in and hit near the body
trees.
at least. Yeah.
Okay.
That is almost unavoidable.
Starting to think what you said earlier, that this is premeditated, is holding much more water, Ellis.
Yeah.
And so I relay everything that Danny basically just said to Ellis. Okay, so what's the next play? We head back to the station maybe and touch base with Terry's parents?
That is
what we do?
probably, we need to, so yeah, we've got the parents call, and is there anything else that we have as like clues that we needed? We did the butcher shop, the flower shop.
I keep thinking about the 6, like I haven't really gotten much sleep. I mean, yeah, why 3 nails, why 3 bullets? Yeah,
By the $6 and change, yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Lots there.
It wasn't clumped up like if someone, if we're stripping a dude down and gonna murder him, why would it be more out?
And they left money in his wallet.
Out of a pocket, it's gonna tumble out onto the ground in a relatively close pattern. You don't have it spread out. There didn't seem to be much pattern on the ground.
It didn't seem to be intentional because they didn't take the money. It wasn't like they were going through his wallet, so it shouldn't have spilled out. And also, who carries $6 in coins, especially in the 80s when that's a lot more money?
It was mixed coins and bills.
Mixed coins and bills.
I thought it was coins. Okay. That I did not know.
Now, when we checked his wallet on the hood of the car, there was some money in there. How much specifically was in there?
There would have been like, I don't know, like 20 some bucks.
20, so it's not like we're not hitting recurring. Oh, it's the dollar killer.
Another 6, yeah.
It's like
It's a
I
$6
leave exactly
thriller.
$6 and change, no matter where the fuck I go. Like, okay.
I mean, I hope we're not serial killers. It's the last thing we need, but something.
No.
Especially here
around
in Russellville, but also we're in
because
Russellville.
people are, I mean, they're not expecting it. They're not as high on guard like you would be in New York City, where around any corner could be, someone trying to kill you.
Yeah, no, here it's jilted lovers.
Yeah.
Mostly. Lots of crime of passion, domestic nonsense.
Yeah. Aggressive public urination. Just the usual.
Lots of public disturbances and indecency.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking skateboard kids.
Fucking Timothy.
Loitering.
Fucking Timothy.
Fucking Timmy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're what? You're driving back to the station?
Station.
Driving somewhere that has a phone because I can't do it in the car because cell
Probably
phone
the station. Yeah. I think they probably have it at the station. No, we go to the fucking payphone down the street to get 911 calls. Like, we don't have that on location. Like,
very well. Yes. So
that's why we have the lowest response time in the state.
oh shit, we didn't hear about it. I don't know. Like,
yeah, no response time is low response time. Yes. When you get back, you have been left the number for Maxwell and Kathy Hollow, who live in Dallas, Texas.
I ring up the local police and have them arrested and tried for murder.
You're right. We didn't think it could be the parents that are multiple states away.
I mean, that's where they live. They could be here.
Astronomically far state.
Pandemic, you can go wherever you want.
It is true. It is 32 years before the Great Pandemic.
Oh, God. Never call it that again.
No, because it's like, World War One is called the Great War, but 20 years later, a greater one came.
Great, now you've totally jinxed it.
Greater. We haven't had the greatest war yet.
Exactly.
We haven't had the superlative war.
In 20 years, we're going to have the Bud Light flu.
So Germany can go 0-3.
Oh,
wow.
God.
Hey! So who wants to make this phone call, Reno? Do we want Mr. Asshole to do it, or Mr.
Why don't we try with Mr. Asshole?
Everything?
I think that's the way to do it.
Mr. Asshole, hell yeah.
Ring, ring, motherfucker.
Yeah, it rings a few times, and then this guy, I'm already butchering any sort of southern accent when I try that, so I'm not going to make anything Texas specific. But yeah, guy picks up. Sounds a little older. Yes, it's Max.
Is Mr. Hollow?
Yeah, this is Max Hollow.
Detective James Ellis speaking, Russellville PD.
Russellville. What the fuck did that boy do this time?
I just got some questions about him, if you don't mind.
Right. Yeah, sure. Shoot.
When was the last time you or your family spoke to him?
About a year ago.
When he moved out?
Yeah, sure, moved.
When he arrived in the city, I suppose.
Yeah, if that's where he ran off to.
Where... Was he a troublemaker?
No. Terry was loved by everyone. No one thought he could do anything.
Is this some bullshit?
Are you fucking kidding me? Have you talked to the local police?
I'm asking Danny. I'm talking
to
Danny.
Is this some you want to roll?
Bullshitting me on the thing.
Yeah. Feel free to roll. Yeah, psychology or psychoanalysis, whatever you prefer.
Okay. No, I don't know shit. 98.
I mean, he He sounds
98
he sounds real angry.
Alright. I see. He an only child of you and your, and I checked my notes for the wife's name because I've forgotten already. It was Max and
No,
wife.
he's got a sister.
Is she also out and about in the world, or she at home with you and your wife?
I mean, I assume she's at home with her husband and her 3 children.
Oh, so she's, yeah. Well, I don't fucking know. She live in.
She lives in Dallas. Yes. Excuse
She's
me.
all
Where are
in
you
Dallas.
going with all this? What did Terry do this time? What? Let me guess. This time
Terry,
it was what?
what do you think it is, sir?
Well, I don't fucking know. Last time it was horrifying. What did he do? What's the matter? What does he need bail money? He's not getting them from me.
He will not be needing any more bail money. I hate to be the one to tell you this, sir, but your son is dead.
It goes quiet for a moment, and you hear kind of like a, like a sniffle, not a sniffle, like not a full, but just more like a quick, like.
Right.
Right. Well, I guess life caught up to him then.
Was he running from something?
No. Terry was innocent, according to all the courts and the police in Dallas.
I ain't
He had
asking about
nothing
the
to-
courts or the police here. I'm asking you, sir.
Well, I told him he didn't have to run from me as long as he never came back.
What did he do, sir?
It don't matter.
What was he accused of? That he was found innocent or whatever.
My son was a troubled young man, and I don't think anyone really understands how troubled he was. Well, at least they let him go, and no one else was punished, so. But I don't want to talk about it. You can get a hold of the Dallas Police Department. Thank you for calling me about the boy. At least I don't have to hear his name again. You have a good day, detective. Thank you. Click.
Hang up.
Momentarily after- yeah. Well, click. Click.
Yeah. Well.
Yes.
Click. I look over to Reno, who I'm guessing there were no speakerphones, so you only heard my end of things. But
Are we doing the thing where one person can have the
I-
thing open? and
I'll
listen
say,
in?
if you wanted to listen in on it, that was an opportunity. Normally, I think it's not something that's just there, but yeah, sure, why not? I mean, just to spread the information.
it's so big that we were both like this to it.
Yeah. You basically just held it up, and it was like, rah, 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 rah.
Man,
We
these-
need to
these
get in
speaker
contact
systems
with-
are great.
We need to get in contact with that Dallas PD and see what's what on that front.
And what father says, at least I don't have to hear his name again to someone who's his own son? There's some shit that is going on in that family.
Oh, is that not normal? Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, we'll unpack that at some time, Ellis, but at the same time, Woo, all right. Was there only one number that was given to us? Like, was it just Max Hollow and the wife?
Max and Kathy Hollow, yeah.
Max and Kathy? Oh, so it was one number for both of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were divorced or something.
No.
Okay.
Maxwell.
I'm gonna send for what I don't know
Dallas, yes.
the Dallas report on whatever incident involved
Yeah.
Terrence Hollow.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
Gotta dredge that up.
okay, so you it's simple. You basically place a call into the dispatch of Dallas and Texas, and you're
This is
told that
Russellville, Arkansas. Yeah, blah blah blah. Police detective code 81A4123030.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Over.
And
while he's doing that, I'll be trying to do a background check, see if I can dredge up anything on Terry just here.
okay,
Maybe there's stuff we haven't heard about.
all right. Ellis, you are simply told by dispatch that they will relay your request, and that you should hear from someone in whatever department fits soon, if there is anything. And
Roger, over Delta Echo.
Delta Echo. Okay. DE. Reno. Reno, you run a check on him. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a speeding ticket. Not anything. Not even a little bit. He is squeaky clean.
Does it seem too clean? Like, I mean, it's starting to feel like.
I mean, he's in his mid-20s.
Is this shit like, is it stuff that we can like try and dig up that's like when he was young and minor and it's been expunged or whatever, that jazz?
Well, he has only lived in Russellville for about a year.
Right.
So,
Oh, well, so that would be over in the Dallas stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So so it makes perfect sense that there's nothing on him. In fact, if he had done something in the last year, then you would know Terrence Hollow better, because it would have been like in such a small place that it's like, yeah, I fucking remember that guy. He got into that fight. Yeah, sure. But no, there's nothing on him.
I'm gonna look up in the records. I don't know, of course, you know, it's like a fucking card catalog or some shit at this point. But is with our crimes cataloged? Like, can you look up, you know, XYZ murder? Did it have something to do with nails? Did it have something to do? How many shootings were there? How many, like?
I mean, you have a database, sure. I mean, you can look through murder cases in the Russellville PD, and in, I would even say probably even in the state of Arkansas, you can sift through. I think Ellis would already know that there has been nothing even remotely comparable to what you're working on now in the time that he's been around, and there hasn't really been talks. Like, the last time you had a big thing, it would probably have been like someone who shot someone. Like, it was where it wasn't just random jealousy. It might have been someone who simply had gotten angry and they shot someone. And that would still be like way back, because it's just not something that really happens for you guys. You could certainly check Arkansas as a whole. You could send out requests, information requests.
Is there anything like a cold case section of unknown, like, weird things that have happened to a similar band like this, or maybe not specifically?
Sure, but it's still limited by area.
Yeah.
So it's still like anything in Arkansas you can find pretty easily. It's not too hard to find what you need in Arkansas.
The BAU for the FBI. And
the BAU, yes, the behavioral unit.
Analysis.
Behavioral analysis.
Dr. Spencer Reed, please?
Yes. I'm not sure Dr. Spencer Reed was born yet.
As we have Blue Monday back in the background during this montage, going through the fucking cards and all this other shit.
I would say anything within Arkansas you can get fairly easily. It's as simple as making a few calls to some of the other local police departments, state police. If you want to check, like, throw a wider net, then you'll have to look in with like FBI. You'll have to look at states surrounding you. It becomes a little bit more involved when you're fishing that deep.
While he's doing that and I've made my call and waiting for the request, can I, like, I don't need to, like, go and talk, but can I, like, find out if he was basically, like, either asking her or Dunbar or someone, like, was he a religious man? Did he go to church?
Okay, you want to go and have some quick conversations with the others?
Just with somebody who would know, just the church bit at the moment. It's kind of, I just want to, if I can narrow down.
Jackie would know.
Because there is, yeah, but that's the thing of, like, Ellis don't care. He'll go and ask. And if he goes to ask her, he'll have more questions. But
Yeah, I mean, you're free to go to her while Reno sends out requests. You just let me know how many requests you want to send out and where you want to send them.
I'll send a ping out to the FBI and see if they have any information on one Terrence Hollow,
Mhm.
approximate birth date and other stuff. See if there's anything that comes back on that. This is a real crazy one. I turned to Ellis. What's the over under that he had any involvement with the military? Because he was approximately how old? He was relatively
26.
20s.
20s.
Yeah.
I don't know about the timeline. Like I don't.
Yeah,
know about
timeline doesn't,
Yeah, 26.
doesn't match up.
Yeah.
He went in at 14 and was kicking ass and taking names.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Ends up as a mechanic.
A mechanic. He could have been an army engineer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true, very true. Okay.
I am gonna go visit Jackie.
Yes, you drive out to Jackie,
I'll go.
and
with
you
them.
are sending out requests because that'll take time
yeah.
sending out all those
Yeah,
different.
so I do the
requests.
paperwork as necessary to get the things out. See
Yeah.
if there's any
Oh, I'm
more.
doing it alone. Let's go. Let's see how much I can piss
Oh,
this
yeah.
one off.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You.
Oh yeah, and it's the opposite of what we talked about. Like before he leaves, like where are you going? Are you going to Jackie, or are you going to see her? Because like the whole thing with like that ended a little. Should I do
I'm
it?
sure
You
it'll
wanna-
be fine.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll bring her the flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Yep.
Yeah.
I
So.
bring the flowers, but I just leave them on like the dashboard. I'm not. That's not gonna help. This
So Reno sends out these pings. Ellis goes to Jackie, who, as you arrive and knock on the door, opens up, and you can see clearly she's still very much crying on and off about this, and she seems very upset and like.
Ellis
Yes?
is out there with a fucking boombox. Like,
No, Ellis is just like, no, pull yourself together. I got some questions.
What do you want? I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, too fucking bad. I'll keep it quick as I can. Okay. Was your boy a religious type? Did he go to church on the Sundays?
Sometimes, only if I wanted him to, and I didn't really want him to. Sometimes he'd go with Barry if Barry wanted him to, but it's just
Same church? Just
fucking Barry.
yeah, it's the one, the Presbyterian one.
Presbyterian. Got it.
Not the
And
Presbyterian.
had he done anything to, in the relationship to like fuck up? Was he trying to?
No,
No. All right.
no.
Wasn't an anniversary or anything yesterday. He was late for, right?
No, that wouldn't have been until. Oh my God, that's in 3 days.
Well, you didn't make it. But if it helps in any way, he was on his way with dinner and some flowers for you when he died.
How's that supposed to help? Oh,
Well, I
you're
needed
so
to know if
sweet.
it was. I mean, I could have told you my other theory is that it wasn't for you and he was cheating, but I didn't think you wanted to
Oh
hear.
my God, Alice, you are awful. You walks back in and you just get the door slammed in your face. I'm calling your superior. You just
Yeah. It won't be the first time they've heard it.
As you're walking away, you just hear her screaming inside. If that asshole ever comes out here again, I'm suing all of you.
They're like a land. Is this one of those ones where there's like an obvious landline in the house? Like coming out of the house? Can I just be like, shut up, bitch?
No.
Outdoor telephone. Like,
Just because I wouldn't want you to get fired, I'm going to say no.
No one would ever prove it was me. I don't know what you're talking about. I yeet the like bouquet just in her driveway or whatever equivalent. And go back. back to the
Just the fucking worst. The worst person.
Real bouquet. It's a fake bouquet. The real one got stolen from the trunk of the car.
Sergeant Reno likes you.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay. Okay. So, as you are away, while you are away, Sergeant Reno, Logan Reno, is making calls around. You wanted to call the FBI.
FBI, Greater Arkansas, and I don't know. Do we even have a SWAT team? Is there anything that would warrant a SWAT team that's special weapons and tactics, but isn't quite FBI? It's a little spicier than.
I mean, SWAT is just like a local. It's like a part of the police force, if I'm correctly informed. Correctly informed.
Yeah, because if there's like people really holding up in a bank and it's
Yeah,
beyond,
like you have. It's more a case of like you have some weapons that you only use when it's something like that. And some of you might have had some special training. Some of you might be soldiers, like former soldiers, and that's kind of the training. So, starting with the Great Arkansas area, as you're calling around, let me check something real quick. Just to see if any big ones went there. Not until after. As you call around, there's like a few people who remind you of like there's a couple serial killers who happened before this. Mark Edward Gardner had a few way back in the 40s. There was James Wayburn Hall.
A couple serial killers, and what was that?
The names don't matter.
Yeah.
Unless you have a personal interest. But they basically just go through like, yeah, I mean, we've had serial killers, but nothing to what you were talking about. And besides, we either caught them or they're dead. You know, so nothing there. So no, nothing here in Arkansas. When you called the FBI, and you were calling them regarding Terrence Hollow specifically, right?
If there's any info of something like been expunged or is he related to someone big? Is it like
Terrence Hollow?
I want fucking genealogy charts.
FBI, when you call them, basically just tell you that they have never done an investigation on Terrence Hollow. There's never been any FBI case related to Terrence Hollow that they can see.
Good to know. Thank you. Put the phone down and
I'll say, is Ellis returning straight after the talk, or is he going elsewhere?
No, he'll come back.
Okay, so I'll say after Ellis has returned and you've kind of gone over what the FBI and the other places
Ellis
said.
just puts a Band-Aid on his forehead from where she threw a brick at him as he left.
And the phone calls, and it's the dispatch from Dallas again. Basically, it tells you that there was an investigation involving. Actually, no. Yes, the phone calls, but it is a detective. Let's call him Detective Marshall. That's a weird name, Detective Marshall. No, Detective Schultz.
Schultz.
Yes. Yes, he calls up. Like, dring, dring, dring. Dring, dring, dring.
Who's he calling? Like, is he calling? I mean,
it's just like The Office. You've had a phone
Office,
put into your thing there where it calls. Like, yeah, it's like, this is Police Detective Raymond Schultz. Is there a James Ellis here?
Yep. Ellis for you.
Hello? Ella's here.
Detective Ellis, you sound strained. No. As you,
It's been a long case.
you requested everything we had on Terrence Hollow. Yeah?
We need some information on the boy, yeah.
Right. And you hear like rustling. You get the classic sound of like someone putting it against the shoulder and kind of making it fit there for a moment. And then you hear paper as he's running through things.
I was on the phone with his father earlier, and he said the department would have the details about whatever happened.
Yeah, Maxwell. He's a fucking gem, ain't he?
I think he and I would get along quite well, actually.
That is fucking terrifying, Detective Ellis. Well, I can tell you this much. We couldn't catch him. Did he, I should
couldn't catch him.
real quickly pause myself here and give a content warning. Content warning for some stuff that Terrence Hollow was involved in. It's a little bit of a brief early reveal for these boys, for the detectives here, but they would hear this in about 10 seconds anyway. Terrence Hollow was accused of child molestation. So, if you have issues with that, please mute or leave if you have to. I understand perfectly. It will not be graphic, I will say that, but it will be mentioned. Because that is not something anyone should go into detail with.
I'm just going to put it into the chat.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. He goes on as well. About 2 years ago, some boys started. We found out some boys have been molested. It took us a while, but it eventually led us to Terrence Hollow. And he was our prime suspect, and I have no fucking doubt he was guilty, but we couldn't pin it to him. We had him suspected of 4, accused him of 4, but there were more missing. And those 4 were still alive. The others weren't found again at all.
Were any of the families especially upset? I imagine they were, but especially in a violent manner, perhaps, because
again, I would
as
say
you talk, I am less convinced that this is what the case on our hands here was a problem, but we have a murder on our hands of one Terrence Hollow.
Oh, well, I can look into it for you if you want. Check if movements of the families and such. See if anyone left Texas or Dallas.
It would be good to know.
Yeah, I don't
whether
think
or not the killing was justified in our neighborhood. We need to know who did it.
Yeah,
justice and all that. Whatever.
If I can be honest, I think. I mean, I'd guess that Maxwell did it before any of the parents of the kids did it.
That does sound. It did sound like he was in Dallas. He was at the phone number we called.
Yeah, he was fucking angry. Normally, parents kind of stick to their kids and refuse to believe it. The first time we asked Maxwell, the first thing he said was just, "I fucking knew there was something wrong with that boy."
He just ain't right.
That's don't worry about him.
He sounds very not detective.
He is not our detective here. That is, we only have one in our small town, and that's yours truly, huh?
Oh. No comment.
But good. So, yeah, no, but if he was in Dallas, he couldn't. I mean, he could have if he. But would you know if they were well off or?
The Hollows were pretty decently off, yeah. I mean, they're
in
not
theory, he could
rich.
have done it, but it would have. It would have been pretty obvious if he'd done it. Flight patterns. It's only been 2 days, and if he was back in Dallas, we'd know.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
look
I
into
mean,
it nonetheless. But
I'll take it. I'll go for a drive and see what Maxwell says and check in with the parents of the boys. But honestly, I don't. If it's not Maxwell, I don't think.
Send us any
I'll send you all the
facts.
files. Yeah, I'll fax you all the files.
Ask him what time period was Terrence accused that this happened. I'm trying to get an idea of how much
How long
time
ago
has passed.
this
Uh,
was this? Did
well,
he run straight here a year ago, or
he left a year ago. That was after the case was dropped. It's a little bit over a year ago. I know Maxwell kicked him out the second he wasn't he was released.
comment?
If we count the ones who haven't been found, the ones who disappeared,
I would very much like to count them.
we would all. It started 3 years ago. 3 years, 7 months, and 4 days.
I'll do that math later, because not my job.
I'm gonna real quickly do this.
4 days.
And 7 months. It ain't no anniversary.
With what's her name? It is an anniversary for him. Potentially.
How old was she compared to him?
I thought it said she was in her mid-20s.
Same
if
age.
you're talking about Jackie.
Jackie. It's
Yeah.
about the same age.
Okay, so 3 years probably wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a child thing. But 7 months, 4 days. Well,
She's actually a year
we have
older
to go
than him.
back. Okay, so that doesn't track with anything, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, it could mean something, but yeah, we'll have to add. Okay, wait, 4 days. No, because 4 days backwards, not forward, because their anniversary is in 3 days. So it would have had to have been. It would have had to be the other way. They didn't get together on the anniversary or whatever. But it is close.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it's
real
close.
How many total missing?
3 that we're aware of.
And there's 4.
4 alive. That
Four
were
alive.
that were.
I sort of put like a hand over the thing, and I look at Reno, and I go, 3 missing, 3 bullets.
What are the approximate ages of the victims? Not asking for any details. Not like when it happened, but what would they be now?
Oh, now they would be early teens, most of them. Close to early teens. They were all around 9 to 10 at the time.
Fucking damn it.
And they're missing, you said.
3 of them.
Never-
3 of
Three
them
are
we
missing.
never found.
And
The 4
when you
others
say
of
you
them.
never found the 4 others you found?
No,
or
the 4 others of them came to us. Weirdly.
But, so
What would be the ages of the 3 that were thought to be dead or not found?
Well, they would
if
be.
they were still alive.
They would be, and you
Theoretically.
hear kind of some rummaging with some paper. So there would be 13, and 11.
Because we found, and I'll just say I picked up the other line, so
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
also part of this shit. We found Mr. Terrence with 3 nails. He was pinned to a tree with 3 nails, 1 through the hands, through each hand, 1 through
graphic
the neck.
content, everyone. As
Oh,
we go
yeah.
back over the
Graphic
true.
content, yes. Yes.
As we recap past events, and had 3 bullet wounds to the head. We found that they were 22. seemed like a very ritualized murder.
He was
There's,
naked.
there's also a Bible verse underneath one of his
In
hands.
the autopsy, were there any signs of on Terrence
Any signs of what on Terrence?
abuse?
Of abuse?
In that
No, none. You say Bible verse. I mean, he was
John.
Specifically,
It was John something something.
specifically. 'Cause,
Oh yeah,
you
it
know,
was
better notes than I
John
do.
14:13, I believe.
I mean, the verse was, "Whatever you ask in my name, this I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son." I
Huh.
don't know. It was John something. I forget the passage, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, his parents sure ain't no. I mean, they're not church-going folk exactly. I mean, they're not anti-church, but I mean, Maxwell's got better shit to do than go around in a church.
what is Maxwell do?
Maxwell runs his own. He runs his own store with like fucking tractors and shit like that. I'm pretty successful. I mean, he's not a fucking multi-millionaire, but they're well off.
What's the over/under that this may have some, and understandably so, some involvement with the victim's parents? Because we're just like
I mean, I would be surprised if any of the parents had anything to do with it. Mainly because of the parents themselves. Some of them simply, I don't think, would have the means to travel. Some of them are quite poor. Some of them are just too mild-mannered. Not a lot of them are vengeful
like,
to that point. I mean, we all know, you say if someone touches my child, I will fucking murder them. In reality, I mean, you detective, people don't actually do that because, they'll leave it to the law or, they trust that the system will take care of it and so on and so forth.
We get the occasional taking of the law into our own hands out here.
Yeah, well.
Not usually over the kid thing, thankfully, but jealous wives, jealous girlfriends.
Yep, that'll
jealous
do it.
Boyfriends, all of it all.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that'll do it. But then again, no one's going to arrest someone for fucking your wife. So they don't really have a punishment system to, Yeah, but no, I can't see any of the. I will check. Like, I'll drive around and I'll check in with everyone. Make sure.
Did he have any association with coin collecting or anything? We found around $6 of assorted bills and change.
$6 flat, right? Because that's
$6 flat. Yeah, you found exactly $6.
Just in case it matters.
Around the murder scene, and it wasn't like the man had his pocket, it seemed more done in an unusual manner, and we feel like there's something to it. But I know it's a stretch, but is there any
6? No.
The only thing I've got is the 3 missing, 3 bullets, 1 for each.
Roll me a D100, both of you.
One.
15.
Okay. Sounds like white. We had a thing here in well, it's not in Dallas. It's been a couple years. And it was back in '86 down in a place called Abilene here in Texas. Old lady got killed. I'm gonna send her case along for y'all to look at. It's probably nothing. But you keep mentioning the 3 bullets, the three nails. You say?
Yeah.
I had
only 2 were necessary. Well, they all held him up, but
it seemed odd.
He was standing. But
Wait. Right. I'm gonna send you an extra case. Take a look at it. Just tell me what you think. Elderly lady, I'm not gonna tell you too much. I want your own take. And I'll call you back when I've talked to the family, probably sometime tomorrow, the day after.
Talk to them.
Will do.
And I'll look
Thank you
into
for your
something
assistance.
else as well, because you're kind of tickling some strings in my brain right now. Yeah, I'll send it over with facts. I'll need to go find the other case, so that might come in a little later. Best of luck with your case. Anything else you need, let me know. I will call you as soon as I have anything.
Thank you.
We'll try and keep you in the loop on this one.
Hey, good
because
luck.
Justice.
Yay, justice. Click.
Ooh.
Yeah, and not too long after the facts does start rolling in with all these details about the case. And the case is very much, and this is going back into some of the sexual abuse content warning.
That might be a thing just here forward.
Across
Yeah.
the board.
I will make sure that from now on,
It is in the
it is
disclaimer, yeah.
it is not only in the disclaimer, but it will come into the chat like every 15 minutes or so. Because I had a talk with Colt about it. It is exactly as often as he said it should probably come. I feel like he was right again. Damn it. But yes, the file is obviously it's very like simplified. I'm not gonna go into details. It's very clinical as they write it, but it basically tells that for one young boy first. Told his parents that that a man had done things to him and tried to hurt him, and then it became more and more and more. But they couldn't point out Terrence specifically because the guy who did it had covered himself up with like shades and basketball hats and like masks and shit. The detective that you spoke to, then Schultz, realized that there might be a connection to missing boys in the greater Dallas area over the past couple of years. The details, when you look at it, it's as detective and as a sergeant even, it is riddled with evidence, but all of it is like substantial. It's circumstantial.
There's nothing beyond a reasonable doubt, yeah.
Exactly. There's nothing where they can be like, this is the guy and we know it because so and so and so. It is all like he was at the right time. He was at the right place at the right time. He had the means. He had the motive. They felt he had, so and so and so. And there's everything detailed as well about how his family basically cut him off entirely.
There's a couple things I want to do, and I'm sure you'll have things too, and they might be the same. But missing boys in our area or Arkansas.
Okay.
And I want to check because the Dunbars said that he had a whole family, and I'm curious the ages and genders of any kids.
You know that Dunbar has mostly grown children, but he has one son who's 12.
Because he said at one point that he was close to him and his family.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
And if so, we may have found our angry parent.
Now, wasn't Dunbar tall, but he didn't seem like.
I believe
He gave him the day off early.
Gave him the day off early, yes.
He might have mentioned that he was gonna go to this place to get something for the girl.
I would.
But why would you shush at your boss? Like if you saw your boss.
If he starts accusing you loudly,
here's what I will say.
Let's talk about this.
That that Richard Dunbar is definitely over 6 foot. He's around 6'5", I believe I said. But you also know that he is big. Like he's a fairly large, like old, strong worker dude. The guy you saw put the clothing on the car is not that. He's tall, but he's of more of a normal build.
That also brings up another sort of, if this was revenge, we'd probably know, and I mean, especially if it was recent, and why would you then be nice about the clothing? But it's an angle that I would be remiss to not check in on regardless.
I think a lot of people, they just don't report it. Either they don't know what to do, they don't know how to handle it. I think there's a layer of shame. I'd be surprised. There could be quite a few. We don't have cases on it.
But
Especially like
we should still look to see if there is anything in the area.
especially males. Younger boys, they're not going to want to talk about that.
No, and especially, if so, they'll go to the parents, and if the parents, God-fearing Christians.
You also do
Church
know
said
that he helped Richard Dunbar coach the Little League baseball football thing.
Little league team. That's a whole problem.
That's a big fucking problem. I mean, we have leads, but it's a fucking awkward ass lead. How do we broach this subject?
Do we know? I mean, if Dunbar is like if he's doing the little league stuff, he's probably a community man.
Oh yeah, very much so. Dunbar is very much known as one who takes part in community events and helps. Like, he's not into the local politics and bullshit, but he's very much the guy or one of the guys that local politicians make sure to be friends with.
We should probably ask him down to the station and have a frank discussion about what we've discovered, and ask, because he was part of that, if anything.
If he observed anything that could be
in hindsight with that knowledge, behavior. The odd behavior,
yeah, we should
call at because probably hours they'd probably still be open. Call at the mechanic shop.
I'd say at this point, let's see, you went there, you went out there at around noon, come back, you've done it. I'd say, yeah, you could probably make it to Dunbar before he closes, but you were definitely at like the end of the afternoon after a long day.
I was gonna call and ask him to come in and have this at the station.
Oh yeah, that you can definitely do. Yeah.
Because I think that's versus having this out in public. I think
it's
better.
Yeah, he doesn't make a problem of it either. It's very much like, yeah, all right, officer, I'll be there as soon as I can.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, he arrives, takes about, I'll say he arrives like a little after 5, or a little after 6, like 10 after 6. He could have driven down straight, but it's like 20 minutes extra you'll have to wait.
And we didn't explain that we just were like,
yeah.
And if we knew it was close to work, I'd probably even be like, hey, after your shift, whatever, when you close down, come on by. We got some stuff we need to talk about.
Yeah, and he is very much, as he comes in, you can see he's got like the fucking the cloth, the
specialty cloth.
Yeah, he kind of wipes his hands over like
chamois.
Yeah, excuse me, Detective Sergeant. I kind of left in a hurry when I was done.
No worries.
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
Can we talk and I usher him to whatever meeting room or whatever.
Yeah, your little office there you've been given. Yeah, like yeah, absolutely. After you.
So we sit down. Pleasantries.
Mm-hmm. He serves him
some coffee.
He's already grabbing the coffee himself, just like, I'm good.
Yeah, it's a coffee sort of day.
Yeah. No fucking wonder you buy the Dunkin'.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we got some further information on Mr. Hollow.
Yeah.
He, you know, he came. Do you know where he came from when he moved to the town?
Yeah, Dallas. He said.
It appears he was running away from a bit of a reputation and a bit of bit of the law.
Wait, Terry?
You're not gonna be laughing when you find out what.
Yeah.
What? I can't be that bad, right?
I just slide like like the file, but not like all the details. But
Yeah,
just
it's like
the-
like an overview thing.
yeah.
The highlight reel of.
Like
rap
takes a
sheet.
look at it, you can see like at first you're like, and just see the face, his face just like,
Yeah. Just drop.
like it drops and hits the blood drains and he goes pale. He's like, but Terry did all this. No, but they can't. He would have been put in prison for life. There's no way.
They didn't have the evidence to put him away, but he
Oh,
was the prime
my God.
suspect, and the evidence we have seen was pretty. It wasn't quite there, but if I'd been the judge, if I'd been the jury, he wouldn't have gone free.
Ugh.
You said, I mean, I don't want to worry you anymore, but you said he helped you with the Little League team and close to your family. We need to know if this was maybe a revenge thing of the behavior continued.
Wait, you think I? No. What? No, he.
No.
Potentially.
Potentially any of the
no.
parents of the team.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's soccer, little basketball, whatever it was.
I will say
Baseball,
this.
probably.
I will say this much.
If that was,
He helped me coach the kids in football, the for the youngins, but he was never alone with them. I know, unless at least he was not alone during practices or anything. He always, in fact, he made sure to stick close to me.
probably because he was accused of this.
Yeah,
before.
makes a bit of sense.
And, I
now.
mean, there is a chance he's innocent of this, and that's the other angle here. Is the one who killed him was the one who actually did it.
He
He wanted his scapegoat permanent.
Oh wow,
I've
Maybe.
thought about it, but
that's an interesting angle.
yeah.
Because if the problem if the problem individual is dead, oh well, we don't have to worry about this
no
anymore.
one, it goes cold and nobody keeps looking in, right?
he used to take my son fishing.
It's the
Might
like
wanna-
stoic face. I'm
might
gonna
wanna
let him figure this one out. Yeah.
You might want to have a chat with your son.
Yeah, I need to go home. Please excuse me. I'll give you a call.
Get in touch
Wait.
with us if you need any access to therapy or anything, or for anyone in
I don't-
you or your family.
So good, so good, so good. Reno's just such a good dude. Like, hey,
And
we'll
then
make
there's
some
Alice on the other
therapy.
side, like.
And this is on like therapies for bitches. Therapy comes at the end of a gun, fool.
If you could check with any of the other kids or families too, it may be easier to talk to
Yeah.
a member of the community than to an officer about such things.
I think I'll start at the at practice. Give the boys a chance to talk without the parents involved. I'll talk with my kid tonight. I'm sure Ken is gonna be honest if I ask him straight up, especially now that Terry's dead. He was real sorry about Terry dying though. He was real sad.
Well, I
God, I hope. He
I
didn't
hope
do
the best
anything.
for all of them.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'll let you both know. Thank you. Fucking sounds
Thank you
weird.
for coming out, seeing us. I know it's a
Yeah.
rough topic.
Yeah, it's not nice. All right. I'll let you know. And he kind of gets up, and it seems like he's like 2 inches shorter than when he came in, and he's completely pale and very just defeated as he walks out. Like it's just that hit him fucking hard.
I mean, yeah, that's gonna hit a lot of people hard. I'm
Yeah.
sure it won't be the last awkward conversation we have here.
Yeah, it's rough. Aside from that, you spend your evening checking the local area, checking nearby precincts,
Just
I
seeing
guess
if
they're
there's
called
missing
districts,
kids or anything.
seeing about
yeah.
missing kids. You do come across a few, but most of them are far enough back that either
was
he
still in Dallas, yeah.
traveled or he was in Dallas, and some of them are so far back, in fact, that they would be grown ass people
Not
by
him,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. Nothing really catches your eye about it. And late in the evening,
Still keep all of them.
yeah,
We've got full Charlie Day on the
yeah.
board.
Yeah, putting push pins, getting the string out.
Later in the evening, the facts starts up again with the other file that Detective
case
Schultz
that-
promised you.
Abilene in Texas.
Abilene, Texas. The case involves a Catherine Wilcox, 74 years old, white female, found in Abilene, Texas, around 2 p.m. by her granddaughter, Emma Wilcox. Death is listed as having occurred 7 to 8 p.m. the night before the victim was found. She was found sitting in her rocking chair with a fire axe embedded in her neck. The victim had nearly been decapitated, killed instantly by the cut.
Content graphic warning.
Content graphic warning, yes. God damn it. Evidence listed as evidence found on scene. Entry was through an old window forced open. There was no sign of a struggle. There was no fingerprints. There were footprints leading through the flower bed. Tennis shoe size 13.
Size 13.
There were no witnesses. She had no known enemies. There are a few pictures of the scene sent with
Just to
it.
be clear, our tennis shoes were 13 or 10.
13.
So Terry's feet were 10
Terry's were
and
10,
shoes
the other
around
10.
were 13.
Yep.
Were they also 13? Okay.
Roll me spot hidden.
Ooh, boy.
I'm fucking useless.
It's
I have a
been
75 on this, and I still rolled too high.
how high did you roll?
84.
Oh god.
Spot hidden is 60 on my end.
This is what I put the stats
16,
in, and it don't matter.
16
Okay.
under 60.
Okay, so that's not success. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it has been a long day, and you've just had a very uncomfortable situation with a father who may now have some very uncomfortable truths to look up. So you're tired, Ellis. You don't necessarily see anything. You're like, this is a fucking old lady with an axe in her neck. What does this got to do? Reno, you have the same issue for a while. But then you notice that all the pictures, even though it is kind of dark outside in some of them, on all the pictures, her clock is stopped at 3 p.m.
Is this like old lady that has multiple clocks, like on the different angles of the
No,
room?
it's just like one of the old grandfather clocks that hangs up on the wall. Well, not grandfather, but like the
yeah
old school.
3 p.m. Well, there's 3 p.m. on the clock, so there's another 3.
And based on what we know, it wasn't. This ain't a. It wasn't even broken during the struggle or anything, because based on time of death and discovery, 3 p.m. wasn't in the cards.
In the file, does it say when they found her? Like it was a little bit later?
The body was found around 2 p.m. So at first, that's why it took you a while. At first, it makes sense that it could be 3 p.m. because that could have been could have taken pictures. But you know, the only reason it makes you that you spotted is because in some of the pictures it's darker. Some of the pictures it's darker outside, so it's a different time of the day, but it's still 3 p.m. on the clock.
Is the second hand anywhere different? Or
Everything is the same place. Everything, the second hand is at 12. The shorthand is at 3. Even if there is a second thing, it must be at 12 as well because you can't see it.
And the position of the body, is she laying in bed?
She's sitting.
Like
She's
right?
sitting in a rocking chair with basically what amounts like a piece of metal hold between her neck and her head.
Something keeping her up again by the neck.
Why would this person have such a fucking obsession with the neck and then
3 and 6.
or something divisible by 3. And then there's 3 missing victims. Is that representing the 3 people? Is the $6 and change? Is that representing maybe there's 6 totals? Wow, this is fucking.
There's 7 total that we know of. 3 and 4. 3 missing and 4 alive.
4 alive, 3 missing, possibly dead.
I love this Charlie Day moment you're having right now.
Because I was wondering, if I went through anything like
Are we missing any cases?
the victors went through, like when I'd get older and I understood how fucking bad what I had been through would be.
If it had been a longer time, yeah.
I'd imagine somebody along those lines would get the vengeance bug.
But they're not old enough.
They're not
yet.
old
They're
enough.
Like 14. That's why. So basically, my theories are vengeful parent. He's actually innocent, and the actual perp did it, and it's a covering up. I mean, we could keep the children of the corn theory that some of these kids, but
they're working together. One's doing the gas pedals, one's driving. Like,
I think our vengeful parent or someone
vengeful parent or guardian or
killing, or it's a cover-up killing. Those are my
either the person that actually did it using him as a scapegoat, or it's somebody involved somewhere.
Wanted revenge on whatever happened.
The neck. Why the neck? Fuck. It was like 3 or 4 miles from the parking lot to the thing. Was it more towards 4 or was it more towards 3?
It was up around 4. Up around 4.
Okay, so that isn't another angle to it. There wasn't anything missing there. Like when we looked inside of the Mustang, was there any sort of, like, I don't know, we haven't established whether Terry smoked or not. Was there noticeable damage to the dashboard? Like if he smoked, was he putting, butts out on the dashboard or other signs?
No, none of that. The car was very well taken care of. It was like it appeared to be like.
What was the if we look at the cases, what was the time like between each instance, like of the 4?
Of the 4,
and where did he find them?
It would be, the time would be, a couple of them would be fairly close. It would be like a couple months in between, but the first one of the ones that were the first one who was turned into the police or like reported, the first 2 of those were pretty close, like a few months in between. The other 2, the next one was almost a year later, and then the next one was almost another year in from that. And the 3 who were missing were kind of peppered in between.
After that.
In between. One was yeah.
Do any of the they were all probably old enough that if they wouldn't like have forgotten their parents and stuff if they showed up somewhere here. Like they're not gonna. No. They weren't like tiny children.
No, they were all those like 8, 9,
and none
10.
of them. If we look at names, none of them strike us as like somebody who moved here or there's a same last name.
No, I mean. One of them is like a Johnson,
like Smith,
but like it's like nothing.
It's not like a name pattern where the initials are the same.
Yeah, no, nothing stands out like that. And also at the same time, the detective was very much like, oh yeah, I'll go check where they all were. So he would also seem to believe that they are at least all still in the area.
would these cases have included the fingerprints from anything in that scene, like of the kids or the missing kids?
No, the only thing you would find in terms of fingerprints is that whenever there was dusted, like in their homes, in the homes of the ones who were not found, nothing out of the ordinary was found. But it was also never believed that they were taken from their homes. Like the ones who were found
Right.
were all taken from like a park, the playground, so on.
When you say found, like he just took them somewhere and then left them, or they escaped, or did they describe an escape? Did they describe a rescue?
The two first of them described being left, simply being left after he was.
And would that be at the very beginning?
That was at the very beginning, yeah. The third one, would have received some physical damage. He would have gotten a beating as well, but then the guy would have run off. The fourth one would have been left for dead, basically, but survived, fortunately.
Okay.
So whoever
as
did this
he
is
started
refining
doing
their
it, he started-
technique.
Or they're getting more violent.
And maybe the people that were in between, maybe they had some fight in them, and were trying to.
Or something.
And,
And
just,
of the timeline, what was the longest period he went without?
That would have been from like the third one who was found, and then presumably where the second one who was not found disappeared, and that would have been something like 7 or 8 months, I think.
So then there's almost, so he's never gone an entire year, which is how long about that he was here.
year, 7 months.
Yeah,
and
Terrence.
4 days.
Terrence. Yeah, exactly. He was there for about a. He was in Russellville
Was
for
in
about a
Russell.
year. Yeah.
So he's never gone that long without taking a victim. So if it was him, we're missing a victim, at least one.
Presumably.
But
How many
mean-
missing? How many missing children cases are in Arkansas? Do we have that info yet?
Yeah, you had a
that
bunch,
info, but it wasn't, the timeline didn't fit.
yeah, the timeline didn't fit and the area didn't fit. Like there's a lot that didn't fit with what Terrence could have done.
But if he was refining his technique, somebody who wouldn't be missed,
Mhm.
orphanages, street kids, is that a thing we would know? Like, is there homeless? Because we've talked about there's not really a homeless population,
Yeah.
but is there
You
like
don't
a
really-
kid on the street?
In Russellville, no. There's too tight. Like there's still that tightness of the community from a small town. Even though it's grown, you still have all these like old, like Dunbar, who would, like a guy like Dunbar, everyone knows he would not let a kid live on the street. Like he would rather take them in
exactly.
himself. There's a lot of those people in Russellville.
Right.
There's just also like a lot of like sketchy kind of people who have come, who haven't done anything, but they're just kind of a little bit too secretive about their past, and like it is, they will now probably Terrence will be one of those people. Too many going forward.
Is there an orphanage in the Russellville?
Sure, there could be an orphanage.
Just check for runaways. Not
Yeah.
necessarily missing, but runaway kids.
Yeah, you could. I would say you would be told. Like you would be the first ones to know. In fact, probably the only ones to know when they had left, because police is the only people they can call. They can't really call the parents. So whenever someone, you would know that you've gone out, but you usually, you almost always find them, because they're the only place they can really go is like they'll try to catch a train, jump a train, and ride out of town. So it's basically just usually you'll drive down to the train station, if they're not at like small
Going on
shopping
the
centers,
tracks,
and then you'll find them, and then they'll pretty freely go back, and it'll always be like they just want to be with their family, for obvious reasons. Kids do that. What was the other one? There was
So if he
another
was getting
question.
more violent, it wouldn't be any of Dunbar's kids. It wouldn't be any of those kids, because we would know if one of them was missing.
Right.
Yes.
He'd be looking for someone who's not noticeable, who'd fade into the background, And
if they vanished, I mean, if he was smart, which clearly he wasn't in this other case, but if he got better, and if you were that close to
It's
being caught, you would
a
presume.
new hunting ground, so to speak, maybe.
And
Uh,
and it wasn't getting less violent; he was getting more violent.
mhm.
It's starting
'Cause
to look like maybe it wasn't our guy,
Well, I don't know. Maybe
or we're missing something else. But
someone's having a quote unquote come to Jesus moment, and he's trying to change. I mean, it
maybe he's trying to be
obviously,
better because he got away with it.
right. He's,
That's also valid.
I mean,
but
not saying anything that possibly could have happened is, I've changed my ways, therefore there's no consequences. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
no,
saying
but maybe that's his mental state.
maybe there's, maybe I can make it a whole year, and he's like trying to get, find someone to get his mind off of things in 7 months, and maybe I don't know. There's definitely something going on in this bit that it's 3 years, 7 months, and 4 days. I mean, that's close. And that 3 years bit, once again, three, I know, it starts to get, but I mean, we're just seeing the same things over and over.
We're past the 3, so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
If it was a revenge, I would think the 3 bullets would be for the 3 missing kids.
Well, in that point, that's an interesting point too, that whoever did this may have only known about the 3 that were missing.
Yeah, they may not know about that.
They don't have all this other info like we do.
Can we? But also, just even thinking about going to the revenge of the parents, where the parents made aware that their kid wasn't the only victim, and how many is that's not something. Would we know that that's something that you wouldn't share necessarily in a crime case? You wouldn't tell the parents, oh yeah, there was 7 victims, or.
Yeah, I mean, you're even you, Ellis, are professional enough to know that like if kids went missing, it would have come. You know that it would have come out during the coverage of the case eventually, but you certainly wouldn't early on be like, "Hey, what up? Yeah, oh, your kid's missing. Sorry to hear that. These 3 haven't been found, but fingers crossed."
Any day now.
If we look back, and is the amount of victims and whatnot, is that like public knowledge?
Yeah, it would have been, because they would have started to build a case and then have had it dismissed, and Terrence Holler would have been arrested for this, and
Right.
and then eventually they'd had to drop the case because of lack of evidence.
So that's not a like. It doesn't narrow down like. Well, the parents don't know, so the 3 wouldn't mean anything
No,
to them.
no.
Okay. So what have we got? We've got it's that Bible verse that we keep coming back to. Like, why?
It's something of the Father and the Son. So, and this is an interesting angle. We seems like a male figure that's going towards the car. We can assume, so far at least, that it's a male person who's done this. Father and the Son. Let's look at that verse again.
Whatever you ask in my name, this I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. Yeah, it could be a doing this for someone, but that the Father may be glorified. I mean, that it sounds like it could be a revenge thing, right? You're doing it for the Son.
This I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. Something wrong happened to the Son, and therefore the Father's going to do something about it.
Whatever you ask, but maybe. Whatever you ask in my name.
Yeah, that one's a little off, but not all verses are going to be
sounds
perfect.
Like someone's doing something, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like there's other.
I mean, this is, you don't just, I'm starting to feel like, oh, I ran down to the fucking hardware store and I'm going to pick up some nails and we're going to make a day out of this, get some rope too,
No, this is definitely it's definitely not seeming passion momenting, is it?
Mm-mm.
They picked him up, but they drove him to a specific spot.
But
they had everything they needed. But why did he go along with it?
Put the fucking clothes what's the deal with the clothes? I guess
When the
maybe
kids
mimic
went
the
missing,
situation that he potentially
anything
put people in.
was there like a kid's clothes found?
Uh,
Missing kid.
no, wasn't really missing. I would say, um, the ones where they were found, a couple of them were maybe missing like shoes or like
Right,
like
no, but I mean the ones that like were never
no,
found.
no,
Or close,
nothing was found.
Maybe it's just like a final fuck you. Not only have I killed this individual, yeah, here's your clothes, and then here's it on your apparently your favorite vehicle. It's just one giant fuck you.
Sign of respect.
But yeah, why would you? If it is someone who actually did this, why would you respect them? That's what I don't get. Like,
What if it's more of a one of those kids he trained as a successor sort of deal? Like,
oh, that's a weird angle.
and now I become the master.
Oh, that's
Whatever
I mean,
you ask in my name. It sounds like there's a controlling factor in there. This I will do that the Father may be glorified.
my father may be glorified in the Son, like he's passing the torch, and you
Yeah.
are the you are the I don't fuck like.
It's a rough
Is one
night
of the-
for Detective Ellis and for Sergeant Reno. And as they ponder this, I believe we will end tonight's
Oh
game.
boy.
And
Oh boy.
let them think on it till Wednesday,
Looks
5
like we're
p.m.
making progress.
EST. Yeah. It got a little rough today with the background. I knew that it would be rough with this particular one, but I also felt like it stakes. Let's say.
It was not indelicately handled.
I'm glad you think so. I was that was my worry, was that that I would not be delicate enough with it, because it's certainly not a laughing matter ever in any case. We'll be back Wednesday. What are we finishing off here on tonight? This was Thursday night, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yes. And
Yes.
We'll be coming back on Friday morning.
We'll be coming back on Friday morning, but it will be for us Wednesday, 5 p.m. EST. Back with more the Russellville Files with Detective James Ellis, Mr. Michael, Mr. Hexing King on Twitter, and Will, aka Logan Reno, aka at Will Roleplayer on the Twitter. And I have been the storyteller, GM, keeper.
Our very old and very wise
Yes, I'm very old.
master of ceremonies.
I pretend I'm very wise. And I'm Danny. You can find me at Dakota
Make it,
on
D,
Twitter
make it.
or right here. We'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you two for playing and not going completely insane yet. I am looking forward to Wednesday. Peace, y'all.
See you next time, everybody.